So, I suppose I'll start off with the Americans and just work my way from left to right. Let's see. Forming vehicles, or just vehicles that are good in general. That one, Ram 2. That last time I checked is very silly, very potent as well, because the gun reloads so quickly. It makes it quite a surprise for most of the Germans that you'll fight against, or Russians even, because they will expect that to be a Sherman. And as soon as you start shooting at them every 5.2 seconds, it kind of scares them a bit. Let's see. Black Cat's good, but you kind of have to know what you're doing with it in order to get the most out of it. Same thing for the Super Hellcat, for that matter. If you're good with the normal Hellcat, then you'll enjoy that and get good rewards from that. Same thing for the Super Hellcat as well. Super Hellcat's a little bit different though. It's got a slower reload rate compared to that one, but it's not bad. The gun is quite a bit more powerful. As far as other vehicles go for the Americans, that's not overpowered. It's more of a shit sinking tank. Same thing for that thing as well. T28, no, I wouldn't say that's overpowered. T95 is actually better than that, quite significantly better than this. And it, yeah, I mean, if I was gonna go for something to grind the American tech tree with, it wouldn't be that. It's too slow. You just get left behind in battle and, generally speaking, flanked and killed. M26C1, I've got a lot of experience with that. That's, I think, my now most played tank. Bear me a second, I'll have a quick look. At least for the Americans, anyway. Just flick everyone up. It's my most played vehicle now. Okay. That's mainly because of using it to farm the top tiers. Tier 4 premiums earn you a lot more RP in comparison to other premiums and other vehicles without talismans. Do need to stress that, for both silver lines and RP as well. As far as the M46 goes, that I assume is going to perform almost in exactly the same way as the M46 you get in the tech tree. That one, I've got experience with using that, and I can say it's very effective. However, I will also point out that it's not got the best armor, not least in comparison to that. But this will set you back around about £35, so what, around about $50 or so, maybe, or even $40. I'm honestly not sure the conversion rate at the moment. But either way, it's expensive. That's probably more expensive than any of the others there, including those two, I think. As far as getting these vehicles goes, I would definitely recommend waiting for a discount or sale. There'll be one in 5 days' time for the anniversary sale, and then there'll be another one at Christmas time, and that one will, generally speaking, be better than the one at the anniversary, i.e. the discounts would be better. As far as the American aircraft goes, right, XP-55 I've already said, yeah, that's batshit crazy. If you've got, I mean, it's also expensive. That I think is about what, 3,900 golden eagles, something like that. Again, I think I got that on a sale. I can't remember when it was exactly, but yeah, I don't think I paid the full price for it. The XP-50's down there, that's good, but it's not amazing. It's certainly not the XP-55, which is still mental. That is great for climbing, I suppose, but it won't outclimb certain aircraft, and it will still suffer at the hands of other aircraft as well. The 109F4, that's good. I mean, I've used that. I've done all right with that, and I've used that to farm aircraft for the Americans as well. It's a good grinder. I can't fault it. BTD-1, personally, I don't really rate it. If I'm completely honest, I wouldn't say it's a great aircraft. Probably not that bad for RP grinding, because you get a bomb load, a decent bomb load to begin with. Plus it's also got cannon as well, so obviously you can drop your bomb and then strafe ground units as well. P61A, I don't have that. I do, however, know that in theory is actually less, or worse rather, than the P61C, in that that one doesn't get ordnance unless Gaijin ever since changed it. No, they haven't. And that one does. That can carry 4 1,000 pounders, which, you know, it's for 1,000 pounders. That doesn't get any ordnance at all. I am trying to stick to the ones that I know are available for either Golden Eagles or, you know, money, and I'm avoiding the ones that are event planes, basically, at least at the moment anyway. So, for example, that one and that one you won't be able to get. You won't be able to get that one either, for that matter. And this one is only on offer occasionally. I don't know if that's on offer at the moment. But the P38K is good. It's very fast. But it also suffers, I think, a little bit. Especially from bad teams. If you've got bad teams, then you might regret having that. As far as the P47M goes, it's a good plane. Very good ground pounder as well. You can use it either as a high altitude interceptor or a low altitude ground and pound. In the same way you can use the other P47s as well. The Spitfire Mark 9, I don't have it, but I can recommend that for sure. The Focke-Wulf 190A8, again, I can recommend that as well. And the P51 D20NA, I've got that, used it. It's a P51 at the end of the day. If you've flown any of the P51s, you pretty much know that as well. It's not bad, it's not amazing, but, you know, it'll earn you RP and silver lines quite well. Right, anyway, Germans. Let's see. As far as like tier 1s go, shits and giggles basically. Same thing for that. You saw me using the Panzerwerfer. It's a shits and giggles tank or vehicle. Expensive at that as well, so I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. The Churchill should be a decent farmer, but it is only tier 2, so it's not going to earn you a lot of RP. Same thing for the Panzer 3N and the T4747. As far as what you got down here goes, I wouldn't recommend that. The Panzer 4, as its turret rotation will annoy the hell out of you. I probably wouldn't recommend that. It's not bad, but it's not amazing. This thing really does suffer quite badly, if I'm honest, at the battle rate it's at. And takes quite a bit of luck to effectively use it. As far as the KV-1B goes, or the Brumbar, which are both available for Golden Eagles, I would say that you'll have more fun maybe in the Brumbar because of the massive gun, but you'll earn more RP and silver lions with the KV-1B, that one. This is still a very effective vehicle, and I would recommend it if you are looking to get like a mid-tier German tank to farm with. Let's see. And down to the tier 4 ones as well. The Jagdpanther, rather, it's pretty much the same as the normal Jagdpanther. I wouldn't say that it's bad. I wouldn't necessarily say it's amazing. It's good if you are kind of licky with it, I suppose, more than anything, or just snipe with it. If you keep it at distance, the armor will protect you more, and you will reap the rewards of doing that. It's the same thing for most tanks, if I'm honest. The further away you can shoot and kill someone, the better, because generally speaking, they won't be able to do the same thing back to you with one shot, unless they're very lucky or accurate. As far as the Tiger 1P goes, I've had this for quite a few years now. Well, 2 years at least, maybe 3, or 2.5 maybe. It's good, but it's not amazing. At this battle rating 6.0, when it's top tier, it can do well. When it's not top tier, you'll struggle with it at the end of the day. The Tiger 2H Star, I took that out for test drive about a week or so ago, I think it was, or just over. It's pretty much the same as the normal Tiger 2H. There's not really that much different between them, if I'm honest. And if you know what you're doing with the Tiger 2H, then you should be able to do relatively well with it. However, I wouldn't say it's overpowered at all. And I would also say, or add rather, that it is quite expensive. Alright. German planes. Again, low tier stuff's generally speaking shits and giggles stuff. As far as tier 2 goes, Yak Wobby's very good. IL2 don't have it, don't want it, not particularly bothered about that, if I'm honest. Wellington, back when I got that, which was in the first month of playing this game 4 years ago or so, it was a great earner for silver lines and research points. Now, possibly not so much, because it's tier 2 and the research system has changed quite a bit since I got that plane. But it's probably still not bad at a guess as far as earnings goes, if you can actually get in there and get your bomb load off. The BV238 is just sat there as well. That, I think, is probably around about twice the cost of that, maybe. I'm honestly not sure, because I can't tell you how much these cost now that I own them. But the BV238 is great for farming with, I think, considering its bomb load and defensive capabilities. If you've got a choice or got enough golden eagles to get either of those two, I'd probably go for the BV238. P47 is well worth getting. That's cheap as chips as well. BF109G2, that I would say is worth getting, but you will have to pay real money for that. Same thing for the HS129B2. B2 is great for doing ground attacking with, because you've got a MK103 cannon on it, which will just pop tanks open like tins of sardines. The 109G2 is a great dogfire. If you've not flown the 109G2 or seen it, actually I've not flown it recently. I think Carl was saying that it's been nerfed, thinking about it, so maybe that isn't such a good thing to check out, well, to get. I might have to check that out myself and see what I think to the normal G2 in comparison. The LA5FN is, I think that's probably one of the most expensive tier 3 premiums in the game. It was a lot cheaper at one point. Gaijin upped it. In fact, at one point I think it was even more expensive than it is now. And yeah, I don't particularly think it's maybe worth that much, if you understand what I mean. It's good, but it's not that good, is what I'm saying. It's possibly the same thing as that, the Tempest, because that is very expensive for a premium aircraft. It's good, but again, I wouldn't say it's amazing. More so considering you can't carry any ordnance loadout for it, which kind of makes it useless for ground forces. The D13, however, does get ordnance, and therefore you can use it effectively in ground forces for ground strikes or for that kind of attack. It's also not bad, or I say not bad, it's actually pretty good as far as a fighter goes for air interception, that is. It is, however, something that you have to spend real money in order to get. As far as the Dornier 255B2 goes, I don't have it. I've flown the normal one, the A80. I don't know if I've flown that one. No, I don't think I've flown that one yet. But I've flown that one, and that's a real pain in the ass to fly. I'm expecting that one to be pretty much the same, except for a higher battle rate. And that one isn't going to be as bad because it's premium, so you don't have to unlock any of the ordnance or upgrades for it. It also gets 3 MK103 cannons, which can pop tanks open quite easily. And that makes this much more viable, I think, than these two. Or at least maybe that one. The HE219A7, that I would say is definitely worth it, considering how many golden eagles it's worth and its performance as well. It's got 2 MK103s, 2 MK108s, and 2 MG151s. all in the nose or around the nose, centrally firing, if you understand what I mean. So they're all pretty accurate. If they hit as well, generally speaking, what you're hitting is dead, because that's a lot of burst mass. If you look there, does it actually state 15.38 kilograms per second, which is quite kind of I don't know, like 15 sugar bags maybe being thrown per second worth of weight. But that's let's see, that's all of the German stuff anyway. I'll just go on to the Russians. Again, Russian tier 1's mainly shits and giggles tanks, I suppose. They've got the T-35 in there, which is pretty expensive for what it is, or how effective it is. To be honest, tier 1's, like I say, they're more shits and giggles tanks. If you've got an addiction for this game, then yeah, maybe get one then. But whilst you're farming stuff out, you really want to be aiming down for these tier 3 or tier 4 booms in order to get as much out of them as possible. Let's see. So tier 2, I've got the T-34. Yeah, I can say that that is really good. The KV-1E should be relatively good. I've got the German equivalent of that, and that performs well, so I'd expect that this one to do well as well. SMK, I wouldn't necessarily say it's worth it in comparison to how much Golden Eagles it costs, and compared to this vehicle here, and probably that one as well. The Zut is more of a shits and giggles vehicle. That T-34, well, it's T-34. It's going to be okay, but it's not a T-34E. This will perform better for you. Down to tier 3. Let's see what you've got available. You won't have that, and you won't have that available, or that. So it's these 4. That one you have to buy for real money. I would say that that's not bad though. I know Cole's got it. He's used it in a game yesterday with me, and I would say that gun is actually pretty good. It's not bad at all. I've got the SU-100. I got that yesterday, and I've since obviously taken it out for a few games. It's good, but you kind of have to just really sit at the back with that and start with it. You rush in with it and you'll get killed. The Sherman, the M4A2, I wouldn't say that's particularly amazing. It's good in good hands. Well, I say good in good hands. I'd say it's probably average in good hands, and worse in someone who doesn't really know how to play the game or play the vehicle. Same thing for this one actually, T-34-57. If you don't know what you're doing with that, you will struggle with it. As far as, let's see, tier 4 goes, I think all of these vehicles should be available to you. Obviously you've got two, well I say obviously, you've got 2 bundle vehicles there anyway. That one, which you have to spend money for, and that one as well. I've got the Ice-2 Revenge, so I can tell you about that. Although in my own opinion, the best vehicle out of all of those there is that one. This is good. The T-34E 85E. It's not amazing though, and the gun on the T-34-100 will serve you well against any opponent you'll face. Whereas this gun, yeah, maybe not so much. But yeah, as I say, the best 2 out of there, in my opinion, are those 2. If you've got a choice, then those are the ones you want to be aiming for. Have I done aircraft? No, not yet. Again, tier 1 shits and giggles planes, you won't be able to see those 2. These 3, you should see that. Let's see, down here. Hurricane's pretty good. That lag there, that's quite a lot of fun. Really quite a lot of fun because it's got a 37mm cannon. Both those 2 are quite a lot of fun as well. I think that maybe is more effective than the Chaika, if I'm honest. But the Chaika is mental as far as agility goes. It really is a crazy plane. P40 is not bad for farming with, at low tier at least anyway. Same thing for P39K as well. Actually, to be honest, in my opinion, that's probably the best one for farming out of all three there, well, out of all of those there, mainly because of the ammo count it's got a ridiculous amount of ammunition, which allows you to do a lot of either damage against aircraft or, you know, killing brain units, that kind of thing. Down to tier 3, I would rate both of those two as possibly being the better aircraft out of all of those there for farming, though that is good as well. That's pretty good, although I'm not sure if you can actually buy that anymore. P-47 should be decent. The P2, that's from a campaign pack, I think, or from one of Gaijin's special packs, so you have to spend real money on that. But it's not bad. It's not the B-25, though. The B-25 is better for farming, for sure. Possibly, yeah, same thing for the R2 as well. The R2 won't be as good as the B-25, but it's not bad, and probably better than the Peshka for doing farming. The 9M isn't available anymore. Well, unfortunately. In which case, you probably can see that one and that one. I'm not sure if that's available anymore, if I'm honest. But you can sometimes get these planes from doing some of the events that Gaijin put out. Down to tier 4, you won't see that. That's an event plane. That one, obviously, you have to spend real money on. I flew at the LA7 earlier. It's a good aircraft, although I'm not sure how much that actually costs. The VK-107 is a good aircraft as well. I don't have it. Carl has it, so he can tell you a little bit about that if you're interested more with it. The Focke-Wulf 190D9, I would actually say that's probably the best farmer out of those three, as that can also carry ordnance as well. No, it can't. Not with the Russian one. Lol. Well, in that case, then, yeah, tricky. They're all good, is what I'd say there. All three of those. That one kind of benefits more a little bit compared to that one because it carries a lot more ammunition and has a lower battle range, so will be less likely to fight against jets. Okay, I'll do the British tanks next. Actually, British tanks is actually going to be fairly easy because there's not that much here, and you won't be able to see much at all. Again, shits and giggles tanks. Shits and giggles tank, expensive one at that. That I wouldn't necessarily rate. I really wouldn't, considering what I've seen and heard about it. The Achilles, that's not bad. In fact, I'd say that is probably better than that farming. And it will cost you less money as well. These two are both bundle vehicles. You have to spend real money on it, as is that and that. As far as these two go, hard to say if I'm honest with these two. Because I've played the Black Prince a lot. And I know that it's great for farming RP. It's great for, you know, doing that kind of stuff. The problem with it is it's slow. However, that sometimes isn't really that much of a problem. It being that the vehicle won't allow you to rush into combat and get killed. Not that the STRV will, but the STRV is at a higher battle range. It's at 6.7, which means that can get uptiered into a 7.7 game. And at 7.7, that might not do so well. This will never get uptiered into that kind of game. At worst, this will fight 7.0s. And at 7.0, it might struggle against certain opponents, I suppose. The Ag Tiger, maybe. But, you know, not so much as that would do against 7.7s, I think. So it's kind of, with these two, it's a difficult choice, definitely. I might end up getting the STRV if it does actually get put on sale, hopefully this year, or maybe at Christmas. But it's not on my, you know, immediate things to buy, mainly because I've got all the vehicles for the British. Well, for everyone now, anyway. Right, as far as aircraft goes, let's see. I would say shits and giggles there, but the Havoc is a must buy, if I'm honest. If you want to farm out and have a lot of fun with the British, you get the Havoc. It's cheap as chips, and you will have a lot of fun with that plane. As far as the rest of the stuff goes, let's see. Boomerangs are both good, not bad at all. Avengers, not bad. Hudson, I've not really flown it enough to say that it's amazing or not, if I'm completely honest. It's not bad at all. And I think that that might actually be quite useful in ground forces games, because it gets bombs and rockets. However, I've yet to use that in ground forces. Let's see. Typhoon 1B, that's good. That's a bundle plane though, you won't have to spend real money on that. But it's pretty good, it's not bad at all. The Hellcat, but out of those three, actually, it's probably the best one out of the three, if I'm completely honest, because it's got great ordnance loadout and is incredibly useful for ground forces games, for the British at least anyway, until you got maybe higher tier stuff. But even then, you can still take that into a like 9.0 game and still bomb a mouse even. The Mustang Mach 1A is also good. Very similar, well, in fact, it's probably identical to the American version. Kind of similar to the Typhoon as well in the way you use it. And I think its only downside is that it doesn't get any ordnance. No. But it is a great earner, and it's not a bad plane at all. And tier 4s, let's see. Don't have the Wyvern yet. I will be looking to get that, hopefully again on sale. Soon TM. That Spitfire got with a 75% discount, so that was a lot cheaper than it would have cost me. As far as its performance goes, it's pretty good. Personally, in my opinion, I'm not sure if it is actually better than Prendergast or not. Prendergast is actually a little bit faster, rolls a little bit faster as well, and gets 50 cals instead of 7.7s. So in my mind, I actually prefer Prendergast over that one, the Mark 14C. But that's my own personal preference. The kind of it's probably, yeah, possibly might come down to personal preference with regards to those two. There used to be another one as well, Plagueis Mark 9, or LF Mark 9 Spitfire, but I don't think you can get that one anymore, unfortunately. But that was another one that you could have got. I've been through the tanks of the British. Right, Japanese. So yeah, shits and giggles planes. I would say all of those four are pretty good. Well, pretty good for farming out the low tier stuff for the Japanese at least. A701, you've heard me, well, maybe ranting a little bit about that today. And the Focke-Wulf A5 is also good. A675Co, you'll have to buy a pack for that, but it's one of the cheapest packs available, and the plane itself is great. It really is good. The B17 I got, I mean, it's a B17 at the end of the day. I'm not going to go mental over that one. These two I don't have. I wouldn't like to say how well they perform either. That one I know has been rebuffed, at least as far as ammo count goes, but I really have very rarely seen these in combat being used by other players, especially the J2M5. The J2M4 I think I've seen a couple of times, but that thing, I don't know, maybe once or twice. The K87 is a new bundle plane that will set you back a fair amount of real money, and I honestly can't say how that performs at the moment. I've heard bad things about it. Then again, it's relatively new into the game, so it may get some changes to the flight model and so on goes, as far as they go. Right, and that's pretty much everything. There are, like I say, some planes that I've missed, mainly because they are event vehicles that you can't get unless you do a series of tasks in game in order to unlock them. Whether or not they'll be on offer again, I can't say. It's down to Gaijin at the end of the day.